It seems like anything is possible in the Disney universe, even ridiculous beauty myths. Through the years, we've seen hair-braiding woodland creatures and mice who know how to sew. So how would these beauty myths hold up in the real world? For now, let's take a look at 10 Disney beauty myths debunked thanks to logic. Before we jump into it, be sure you're subscribed to the Taco for more Disney videos. Brushing your hair with a fork. Okay, before you grill us in the comments section, we know that you can totally brush your hair with a fork. The problem with this little beauty hack is why would you want to? Not only is it unsanitary, but we can just imagine how bad the stiff metal prongs would be for your hair. Not to mention all the strange looks you would be getting from anyone with an eyesight. Can we all agree, though while it was adorable, Ariel brushing her hair with a fork isn't the beauty myth we should get behind? Skinny equals pretty. Anyone who has seen a Disney princess knows there's a problematic trend: their waistlines. For some reason in the world of Disney, skinny equals pretty, and there are so many things wrong with that. There has been a recent push for Disney to have their first realistic-sized princess, and we hope to see it soon because it's nearly impossible to attain a body so thin and curvy at the same time. Bodies come in all shapes and sizes, and they are all beautiful. Since that's the case, we declare this one Disney beauty myth officially debunked once and for all. No sweat. Not only are Disney princesses beautiful, but they are usually pretty fierce as well. That makes it so difficult to believe that they never sweat. Time and time again, when faced with adversity or physical activity, they can maintain a perfect face of makeup. The problem with this is, if you didn't actually sweat, you could wreak havoc on your health. Sweat helps your body regulate its temperature, and when your body isn't able to do so, it could have deadly side effects. Plus, what's wrong with showing a disheveled princess every now and then? We all know Tiana whipped up a sweat in the kitchen, and Mulan had to have been sopping after fighting a war. What gives, Disney? Raccoon braiding hair. After watching Pocahontas, we are sure many of you were dreaming of the day when a woodland creature would braid your hair. We are sorry to tell you that will probably never happen. Yes, out of all the animals in the forest, the raccoon may have had the most dexterous hands. That doesn't mean they are your go-to for a cheap hairdo. This should be one of the more logical Disney beauty myths that have been debunked. That being said, we wouldn't be surprised if someone actually tried to capture a wild raccoon and make this happen. We can imagine it turned out to be a total disaster. Running in glass slippers. We aren't sure how or why you'd want to run in a glass slipper, but we are here to warn against it. Running in high heels is already hard enough, but ones made from glass should be a no-brainer to stay away from. It's scientifically proven that Cinderella's glass slippers could probably withstand her weight without shattering. On the other hand, they probably wouldn't last all night at a ball. Plus, can you imagine how sweaty they would get? We are looking at you, plastic high heels, so regardless of how trendy glass slippers are looking for next season, there's no safe way to rock them. Cutting hair with a sword. If you don't know how to handle a sword properly, then there's a good chance you should keep it away from your head. That's why we can't get behind the thought of someone cutting their hair with a sword. Sure, Mulan made it look cool and edgy, but it's just not safe. Surprisingly, it is actually possible to do, but you'd need the help of a trained professional like Alberto Olmedo. He's a hairdresser in Madrid who will give you the full Mulan treatment if that's your thing. But if you aren't this guy, stay far, far away from samurai swords around your hair. Dressmaking mice and birds. Wouldn't it be nice to live in a world where the pests in your home make your Prada-esque dresses while you slept? Yeah, a girl can dream, but you'll be wishing upon a star for a while. It's just not going to happen, unless there is a science lab out there training dressmaking mice and birds. You can count this little Disney beauty myth out. No fingernails, no problem. When we found out this next Disney beauty myth, our minds were blown. Have you ever noticed that Disney princesses don't have fingernails? Is this lazy animation, or does Disney think we could function without them? The truth is, your fingernails aren't only there to be adorned with the best nail fashions. They serve the purpose to protect your sensitive fingertips from potential damage. So while we grapple with unrealistic standards Disney puts on women, this one might be the strangest and most unrealistic one of them all. Makeup underwater. Despite what Disney and The Little Mermaid would have you believe, you cannot, in fact, apply makeup underwater. At least not everyday makeup. There is professional-grade makeup that will stand the test of your summer pool party, but we doubt it's easy to apply underwater. And there is no way it would stay intact if you spent 24/7 under the deep blue sea, especially if you go through a literal metamorphosis from mermaid to human. That hasn't kept Ursula or Ariel from trying to convince the masses that they are immune from this logically debunked beauty myth. Nice try, ladies. Climbing someone's hair. If there is one thing we know about Disney princesses, it's that they love their luscious locks. Seriously, how do they get all that volume? But there is one princess that stands out from the pack when it comes to hair: Rapunzel. According to Disney, she has a mane so strong that it holds the weight of a full-grown man. But how does that hold up in real life? We are going to assume not really well. She would need some pretty sturdy neck muscles to keep her head from snapping off in the real universe, which means it's probably best that you don't test this beauty myth at home. How do you stand up to Disney's impossible beauty standards? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to The Taco.